All right, welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're actually decoding something incredibly powerful, the ultimate Machiavellian playbook for building true stealth wealth. If you've ever wanted to know how the absolute power players operate, completely in the shadows, way outside the realm of flashy social media flexes, well, you're exactly where you need to be. We're going to break down the exact strategies used to build fortunes that don't just last a few years, but for literal generations.
So, let's just dive right in by confronting one massive critical question. Honestly, it's the one thing that separates the fleetingly rich from the permanently wealthy. Have you ever wondered why the new rich, the ones flashing their cash everywhere online, why do they always seem to collapse so quickly? Meanwhile, these mysterious, quiet families just keep growing their fortunes over centuries? Well, the secret isn't really about how much they earn. It's actually about how much they hide.
And Machiavelli just perfectly nails the essence of this invisible power. He said, everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. Think about that for a second. In the modern game of true wealth, your outward appearance, it's just a mask. By completely controlling what people see, you dictate exactly how they react to you.
Okay, here's our 5-step map for the explainer today. 1. The power of camouflage and silence. 2. Building the fortress and silent assets. 3. The art of choosing allies. 4. The lightning strike and expansion. And finally, 5. Maintaining the financial throne.
All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the power of camouflage and silence. So just look at this contrast. It perfectly illustrates the deadly trap of modern flex culture versus the sheer, undeniable dominance of using silence as your literal nuclear weapon. I mean, we live in this crazy era of trends and showing off, right? Everyone is obsessed with looking rich on the internet. But according to this playbook, pretending to be weak when you're actually strong is your greatest possible tactical advantage. Silence is the ultimate cloak. It keeps you entirely off the radar. And it all really boils down to basic human nature. Machiavelli famously pointed out this dark truth. People forget the death of their father faster than the loss of their inheritance. Yeah, let that sink in. You absolutely cannot afford to trigger envy or threaten someone's ego with your success. If people see you getting rich fast, human nature pretty much guarantees they'll try to block you, tax you, or just tear you down out of pure, unadulterated jealousy. So, to survive, you've got to implement these rules of camouflage, immediately. You have to operate completely under the radar. Use pseudonyms for your ventures. Set up those obscure holding companies. And honestly, this is the most crucial part. Keep your old lifestyle. Don't go out and buy that flashy sports car the second you secure a win. You want to let others think you're just like them, totally unthreatening, while behind the scenes, you're quietly buying up the whole market.
All right, moving right along to section 2, building the fortress and silent assets.
So your wealth, it really shouldn't just be some passive number sitting in a bank account. It needs to be a private, totally sleepless army of what we're going to call silent soldiers. We're talking hard assets here. Real estate, dividend-paying stocks, automated digital algorithms. These guys fight for you in the dark. They don't need vacations, they're sure as hell not posting selfies on Instagram, and they never, ever complain. They just endlessly pump out value. Because you have to remember, every single penny you spend on just showing off, that is a lost soldier in the ultimate battle for your financial freedom. Seriously, when you buy some massive diamond-encrusted watch just to flex on strangers at a stoplight, you are literally executing one of your own best soldiers right there on the battlefield. You're taking a fighter that could have been earning you compound interest, and you're just throwing it away for 5 seconds of social validation. Keep your soldiers in the trenches, guys.
Okay, let's shift gears to section 3, the art of choosing allies.
So, Machiavelli gives us a great reminder here. Your strategic intelligence is judged almost entirely by the caliber and the discretion of the inner circle you recruit. As he put it, the very first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. It makes sense, right? You absolutely cannot build a silent, bulletproof empire if you've got loud, reckless, or ego-driven people standing right next to you. You don't need famous friends for this. What you need are these highly specific sleeping cells to cover your blind spots and operate in the shadows right alongside you. We're talking about a genius accountant to meticulously structure the wealth, a completely fierce lawyer to ruthlessly defend your walls, and a silent business partner who hates the spotlight just as much as you do. You want true, cold operators, not influencers. And this comparison right here shows exactly why you've got to swap out the messy, fragile emotion of business friendship for the absolute iron pact of mutual interest.
Friendship and business, honestly, it can completely destroy you. It clouds your judgment and creates these wild emotional liabilities. But a common, shared financial interest? Now that is a reliable, cold, and entirely predictable bond. Get your incentives aligned correctly, and your inner circle becomes completely unbreakable.
All right, on to Section 4, the lightning strike and expansion.
Okay, this is where we enter the Machiavellian moment. This is that perfect window where you aggressively acquire territory, totally in silence, while all your competitors are super distracted celebrating their own fake vanity achievements online. Silence gives you the ultimate upper hand, the element of surprise. Literally, by the time your competitors even wake up and realize you exist as a threat, it is way, way too late for them to do anything about it.
So the strategy is actually super simple. You build patiently in the dark year after year. But the absolute second a gap in the market opens, you strike with the ruthless, terrifying speed of a predator. Do not sit around trying to be fair with business opportunities. The market, it doesn't care about fairness. It rewards decisive, overwhelming action. Be incredibly patient with your strategy, but aggressively fast with your execution.
Which brings us to our final phase, Section 5, Maintaining the Financial Throne.
To actually survive the inevitable market crashes and the shifting of fate, you have to follow these rules of continuity to the letter. Machiavelli warned us constantly about how unpredictable the world is. So, Rule 1, stay on high alert against fate. Never, ever get too comfortable. Rule 2, radically diversify your income streams. Please do not put all your eggs in one basket, no matter how ridiculously safe it looks. And Rule 3, maintain that public humility as your ultimate shield.
Because honestly, the most profound secret of this entire playbook is beautifully simple. Just continue living as if you haven't arrived yet. The absolute best armor for your pride and your secret empire? It's not hiring a bunch of private security, it's maintaining total public humility. It literally makes you invisible to all the people who would otherwise spend their time plotting your downfall.
So, the rather harsh reality we've been unpacking today really boils down to this one truth. The world does not pity the loud weak, but it absolutely respects the silent strong. And you know, Machiavelli wasn't being evil when he pointed this out. The guy was just observing reality. Noise and showing off, that just attracts enemies and massive liabilities. But silence projects a true, unassailable strength that commands natural, automatic respect.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a pretty provocative thought. At the end of the day, money is just a tool for power. And true power? Well, that's ultimate freedom. So you really need to ask yourself, are you just going to keep chasing this exhausting illusion of looking rich just to impress strangers you don't even care about? Or are you finally ready to close your mouth, leverage these strategies, and build a true, completely silent empire? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for diving into this with me, and I really hope it changes how you look at the true nature of wealth.